Support for Sportspage is provided by the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia. Books, office supplies, art supplies, and more are available at the University Store, located on the lower level of the Elliott Union on the UCM campus in Warrensburg. And promotional support for Sportspage is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.
Coming up on Sportspage, I'll sit down with football head coach Jim Svoboda and talk about the recent game against Northwest Missouri State. Jason Ketch will catch up with head cross country coach Kirk Pederson and talk about the Mule Run. In our Sportspage spotlights, we'll take a look at UCM athletics auction. We'll also take a look at football defensive lineman Ramond Hunter. All of this and more on this week's edition of the UCM Sportspage. Welcome back to Sportspage here on KMOS-TV. I'm Alex Greenlee. Sabre Hepner has the highlights from the big football game against the Northwest Missouri Bearcats. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Sabre Hepner, and I'm here at the Bearcats Stadium where the Mules take on the defending national champions, the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. The Mules entered Saturday's contest with a 1-1 record after defeating Emporia State in their home opener last Thursday. Keep in mind, all 11 games for UCM this season are MIAA contests. The Mules faced a stiff test in the 2-0 number 1 ranked Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. In the first quarter, Central Missouri tried to get the run game going that worked so well against Emporia, but the Bearcat defense stifled running back LaVance Taylor. Northwest marched downfield with its first possession, and quarterback Brady Bowles ran in a touchdown to give the Bearcats a 7-0 lead early on. UCM defense trying to get something going. Quarterback Hayden Hawk fakes the handoff, then passes to Colin Rosine. He gets a couple yards out of that play. Second quarter, Bearcats offense ready to score. Pass goes to the wide receiver. He's across the goal line, but he loses the ball, and the UCM defense falls on it for a touchback. Bearcats score again and lead the Mules 14-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Anthony Kirkwood takes the ball as he goes downfield dodging tacklers for a 58-yard return down to the Northwest 39. Same drive, Hawk calls for the snap. When it's in his hands, he looks for the pass, but he ends up keeping it, rolling to his left and runs out of bounds on the Bearcats sideline. That gives the Mules a chance to score, and they do. Hawk to Justice McMullen, and the shoestring tackle at the goal line doesn't bother him. Touchdown Mules. UCM trails 14-6. The extra point off the foot of Will Mondragon that moves the score 14-7 Bearcats in the second quarter. Northwest with the ball again. UCM defense coming up with big plays. Watch Zach Linebaugh with his crushing tackle. Northwest does get a field goal and leads 17-7 at halftime. Let's take these highlights into the second half, about 5 minutes in, and the Bearcats score again and extend their lead to 24-7. Northwest ready to do it again here. Handoff goes to Robert Burton. He plunges into the end zone. Bearcats lead now 24 points, 31-7.
Great pizza with friends.
Mules back in control. Hawk takes the snap, fires to McMullen. A 6-yard gain for Central Missouri on 1st and 10. UCM defense trying to stop the Northwest offense, and Ramond Hunter comes up with a big tackle for the Mules. Moving on to the fourth quarter. Hawk trying to get something going, takes the snap, drops back, hits Rosine. while he shakes off a defender. Same drive, Hawk fakes the handoff and fakes out our camera. He's rolling the other way, scrambles across the field, launches the ball, and Kirkwood ends up with it. 38 yards downfield at the 6. Hawk on the keeper from the 5. Running toward the end zone, he dives and gets the score. Looks like we're kicking it, but holder Garrett Fugate picks up the ball and tosses it to Jason Vidkis in the back of the end zone. Mules still trailing 31-15. Fourth quarter clock ticking down, but it's enough time for the Bearcats to score again. Burton from 5 yards out into the end zone. Little bit of trouble on the extra point here. High snap and it gets away from the holder. Northwest recovers but gets nothing out of that play. It's 37-15. Fugate in at the quarterback position now. He runs with the ball and makes it a few yards. Fugate ready for the snap, calls for it, then uses his legs again and gets about 15 yards for the Mules. Unfortunately, UCM is topped by the number 1 ranked Northwest Missouri 37-15.
And as you can see, the score out there, UCM gave it their all, falls to Northwest 15-37. And joining us now to talk Mules football is football head coach Jim Svoboda. Coach, really glad to have you on.
Yeah, good to
glad
be here.
to see you here. Well, let's talk about this game. First half, you guys are coming in, just down by 10. What was your thought going into that locker room?
Well, we were having a little trouble protecting the quarterback, and we needed to shore that part of our offense up. And defense was playing solid. 17-7. You're obviously a couple scores away, and so we felt like we were in a good spot, and just fix a couple things in terms of the passing game, and try to get some balance on offense, and then continue to play how we were on defense.
Certainly. Unfortunately, you guys lost 37-15. What did you guys learn from this game?
Well, you got to give a lot of credit to your opponent. I mean, Northwest is an outstanding football team, and we had to play our best game to have a chance to beat them. And unfortunately, they were a little bit too much for that. I thought for us that day, I thought our players played hard the whole game. We had some bright spots. Our special teams played well, and we actually won the turnover margin, which really. Usually pans out well in terms of winning games, and so again, it was a deal where you got to tip your hat. They had a great day. We didn't have our best day. I know our kids have our resolve to getting better, and you're playing the number 1 team at their place. That's a challenge.
It is a challenge, and Coach, appreciate that. And you've got Nebraska Kearney coming up here Saturday at 1:30, family weekend. What are you guys really expecting from the Lopers?
Well, we know that they're a program that's got some tradition. We've played them 2 years now. They're new in the league. They're trying to build their program to be competitive in the MIAA. They look like they're more athletic to us than they were last year. They always play hard. They got a quarterback that's a dual threat guy. They got a big kind of bruising running back. They got some defensive players that are very physical, and so we're expecting them to come in here and be an outstanding club, and going to take our best effort to beat them.
Certainly, and the rest of the MIAA playing an 11-game schedule this year against 11 conference contests. What's your opinion about that, and how's that going to affect this season?
Well, everybody's on the same. On the same level in terms of the scheduling. The last couple of years that hasn't necessarily been true. Probably the downside with everybody playing everybody is that you're going to have the 4th or 5th place team that's likely not going to be a playoff team that because of the strength of our conference, will not get an opportunity in postseason, but could probably be competitive in the postseason. So that's sort of the downside, is you kind of beat each other up. More than likely, you're going to get 2 at the most 3 representatives out of the league in terms of the playoffs. You never know how things shake out, but that's the downside. We take pride in the fact that there's been no more representative at the national level than the MIAA, and so we feel like if we can come out of at the top of the league, that you got a great chance to win a national championship.
Certainly appreciate that insight, Coach. And in your 6th meeting overall all-time against Nebraska Kearney coming up, you guys lead the series 3-2. What are your plans for getting that running game going? I mean, Levance Taylor against Emporia State, 288 yards, played out of his mind.
Well, we kind of went on the opposite ends of the spectrum there. And, you know, the thing with Levance, if we can get him to the second level, he's awful tough to bring down, and obviously he's got tremendous speed, and that's what we didn't do against Northwest, and that's what we did do against Emporia, and really against Missouri Western. We had a good rushing day as well, and so you know, stop penetration, you know, stop the negative plays, get Levance to the next level, and you know, that'll do a lot in terms of getting our running game going.
Right, and I expect that to happen. You know, he's a really good player. Talk about his progression throughout his career here at UCM. I mean, he's played really good. Last year he played really well as well. Talk about that for me.
Well, the downside with Levance's career is I played him as a freshman, and we needed to play him because of our depth at the running back spot. Just physically, speed-wise, he was ready. You know, physically, in terms of playing in the rugged MIAA, he probably wasn't ready. And so he's always had a lot of natural ability and a lot of natural speed, and that's something that Levance probably relied on a little bit too much, and you know, was trying to play to his, you know, his strong suit. And what Levance needed to do to take his game to the next level, and what we're seeing this year, is become much more strong in the weight room. He really dedicated himself to that, so he can get more yards after contact, and that's really what's taken his game to the next level. And I think he's pretty special.
No, he is special. Another player on your team that I think is really special is Hayden Hawk. His progression so far this season, had an okay game against Northwest, played pretty good against Emporia State. You know, what have you seen from him this season that's really going to help boost you guys to win this Nebraska Kearney game?
Well, you know, Hayden has been a little bit frustrated, and we've been frustrated overall with our passing game, and it's you know, it's a collective effort relative to throwing the football. You got to have some receivers that get separations or find holes in the zone. You got to be able to protect them, and then you got to deliver a good pass. And so that hasn't quite been in sync like it has been for us. Obviously, our passing game has always been our strength, and you know, Northwest is a team where we consistently threw for 300 yards on, and you know, and so it was a frustrating day from that standpoint. So we're really trying to kind of find our you know, our rhythm a little bit with our passing game, and we've had a good week of practice, and you know, we feel good about it. And I think once we get click and sort of get that feeling again, we're going to be fine.
I think you guys will be fine. Let's talk about the Lopers here real quick. You know, obviously, you know, okay passing game. They're 0-3, a decent running game. What are your plans for stopping their running game? Seems like that's the main point of their offense.
Well, I think by virtue of who they've played is, you know, can skew the stats a little bit. They've played Northwest, and you know, we know what they're about defensively. Missouri Southern can cause you a lot of problems with their defense, and just how they control the ball on offense. You just don't have that many possessions. And then they played in a rainstorm. And so I think that can, you know, they've just had some kind of tough luck with, you know, how the schedule's been, and who they've played where, and so forth. And so I think that they're much better than what their statistics bear out. They got a big bruising running back. Their quarterback's a dual threat. He was a kid in high school that we knew about that threw for a bunch of yards, and so he has the ability to throw. And you know, they're probably searching a little bit in terms of you know, what they feel like they can do best, but we know that they're going to come in and give a great effort.
Right, and you guys always have really done that. And talk about in practice this week, what did you guys really work on for this upcoming contest here for Family Weekend on Saturday?
Well, you know, we're going to do what we do, and you know, what I was most concerned about, and you know, was pleased to see, was just how our players came out, the mentality with which they practiced. They all came ready to practice, which is the main thing. You know, they were energized for practice. This is a group that you know, they take losses hard. It was a pretty quiet bus trip back, but at the same time, they know that, you know, the beauty of the game is you got the next week to prove yourself, and they love to play. I mean, and that's what it comes down to is, you know, you love to play the game. You want to put your best foot forward, and that starts in practice. They understand that. Had a great week of practice.
And that's awesome to hear, Coach. And you guys averaged 38 points per game at home last season and only gave up 25.2. You guys love Walton Stadium. You love being at home. How does the crowd really influence the way that you guys play, or does it, I guess is a better question?
Well, I think it's a great selling point for Central, and that's part of the reason why we got the athletes that we have in our program, because they understand the game day atmosphere. We typically lead the nation or in the top group of schools in terms of football attendance. So it's a great atmosphere. I think our players are energized. They take pride in playing at home and defending their turf at home. And there's not many better venues to play Division II football than Walton Stadium, and we love that. Our players are grateful for it. Hopefully on Friday we'll get an opportunity to express that to some of the fans that'll be there for a pep rally, and we couldn't feel more fortunate.
That's awesome. One more quick question here I want to talk about. Overall here at UCM, you guys have had really good seasons overall, winning seasons the past several seasons. Looking forward to this game coming up. What's one intangible that maybe the stat sheet does not show that you guys are expecting to come out? What's one player on your team that's really going to, you hope to stand out? Well,
in reality, we're best when we mix it up. When we spread the ball around on offense, and it's not just one guy. And so that's what we're going to try to focus on, with our offense, is really mixing it up, distributing the ball around. It was a tough game for our offensive line, and I'd like to see them get back to the level that they were at in terms of blocking the run game. You get behind in a game sometimes, and you sort of abandon that part of it. We know that they've been doing a great job, and we'd like them to get back to how they've been playing, and they will.
Right, yeah, I'm confident that they will as well. Anything else you'd like to add about this contest or game coming up here? Well,
it's going to be a great day, and we're expecting a great crowd, and we want everybody to go out there and have just an exciting time and cheer these kids on. Man, if they would just come out and see practice and see how hard these kids are working and kind of laying it on the line. They believe in what's going on. I'm very proud of them as a coach. I believe in them 100%, and I think they'll put on a good show this Saturday.
Oh, I'm sure they will, Coach. I really appreciate the talk.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you very much. Up next, the spotlight on Mules football senior Ramond Hunter. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Sportspage here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. As a junior last season, Ramond Hunter was named second team All-MIAA with 37 tackles and 4 sacks, entering his final season for the Mules. The four-year starter wants to make his senior season one to remember.
Actually didn't start playing football until my freshman year in high school back in St. Louis. I was a basketball guy. I always just played basketball. I had a basketball in my hand 24/7. Picked up some size, and freshman year went out for the football team, and it's been my love ever since then. This is my 5th year here. I love the university. I love the football team here. I don't really do much outside of school. I mean, I'm a school and football type of guy, and that's what takes up most of my time. From practice for us, I'm out there early, try to be one of those first people out there to get the extra inch, and then we're out there running away straight. Before stretch, we're out there getting extra reps in, then we go to stretch, we can do a little individual drills, and then we go team, and when we go team, we really want to win those periods, put an emphasis on competing and winning, and then stay after practice, get a little work in, talk to my coaches, hey, what can I do better, what am I doing wrong, get that extra work in. Coach Clem, me and Coach Clem go back since when he recruited me. But me and Coach Clem are tight. We trust each other, and that's one of the biggest things when having a relationship with. We trust each other. I spend my off days coming to watch film on them. Even with the GA Coach Evan Knight, I'm in this here like, hey, what can I do better? What can I do this? And they always just try to keep me whatever it is that I can do. Yeah, me and Coach Svoboda are tight. We went this summer to the media day and we got to spend some time with each other, and it was some nice conversations. Yeah, I spend all my time with my teammates. I probably know 15 people that's not on the team here on campus, and that's only because I have class with them. But our team's really tight. We hang out, we go out to dinner, we do everything with each other. Yeah, I like to probably just take a warm shower before I put my pads on, just so I can get my body warm. And only thing that I do really before the game is try to get stretched out and loose, try to be the loosest person on the field so you can play the fastest. My #1 fans, if I'm ever down, they're able to give me a helping hand. Whether I need, more protein, Mom's there to help me with whatever. They come support me at all my home games, and I love them, and I love them for it. I'm a double major with business management and entrepreneurship, social enterprise. My life outside of football is really right after practice, get something quick to eat, and then it's straight to the library for 2 hours. Get that done. But after football's over, I plan on being a coach and using this degree as a backup plan. Yes, experience great. We're up here really trying to build the tradition here, so we're out here doing most of the dirty work and the hard work, so it's routine here, they're winning, so we're out here experiencing it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love out here grinding, doing something that we never done before here at UCM. We're looking to win each game, one game at a time, focusing on Nebraska Kearney coming up, but we just want to win every game, but we're just trying to win weeks at a time. This is week 4 coming up, and we're just focused on week 4, winning week 4, and then next week we turn to week 5, but we're just going to take it 1 week at a time. I just want to thank you guys for giving me a chance to come play football here at UCM, and I'm grateful for it. Will forever be grateful for it, and I'm going to make you proud. Thank you.
So far in 3 games this season, Hunter has 14 total tackles, including 6 solo tackles, 2 tackles for a loss. Up next, Jason Ketz is going to give us the results of what's coming up.
Welcome back to Sports Page. I'm Jason Ketz. Before we talk to UCM head cross country coach Kirk Pederson, let's take a look at results from this past week. Jennies volleyball played host to Pittsburgh State on Saturday in the multi-purpose building. The Jennies got off to a great start, scoring the first 5 points of the match and taking set 1 25-15. In set 2, Pitt State was no match for the Gens as they scored the first 16 points of the set. Led by Annie Riley's 6 ace services, the Jennies went on to win set 2 25-15. The third set was the closest of the match until the Jennies went on a 6-2 run to win 25-19. Carly Soika led the team with 13 kills, while Annie Riley finished the match with a career-high 8 aces served. The Jennies turned right around Tuesday night, hosting the University of Lindenwood. UCM took the match in straight sets, winning each by at least 9 points. Led offensively by sophomores Haley Thompson and Maddie Jones, who combined for a team-high 7 kills each. The Gens remain undefeated in MIAA play this season. Jennies Golf entered the final round of the Southwest Minnesota State Mustang Invitational in 7th place after shooting an opening round 337. Led by freshman Taylon Entrikin's final round 6 over, the Jennies took home 6th place with a final score of 664. Jennies Soccer hosted Northwest Missouri State Sunday afternoon at the South Recreation Complex. The Jennies struck first in the 13th minute when Julie Ireland found the back of the net from 25 feet, which gave the Jennies an early 1-0 lead. In the second half, Ireland added her second goal of the game in the 65th minute to increase the lead to 2. Freshman midfielder Alex Yockey added another in the 74th minute, her second of the season. The Jennies went on to win the game 3-0, stretching their winning streak to 3. This is the best start for the program since 2010. Mules Golf traveled to Bartlesville, Oklahoma for the Northeastern State Classic. After the first round of play, UCM held a slim lead until day number 2, where the Mules shot a combined .299, which tied the Mules for second place, only 2 shots back of the lead. Shooting a final round 300 propelled the Mules to a third-place finish. Senior Sam Migdal and junior Travis Mays led the Mules. Both finished the tournament 4 over par and tied for 4th place. Through 2 events this season, the Mules are in second place in the MIAA standings, only 2 back of Central Oklahoma. That's all for results from this past week. I am now joined in studio by Mules and Jennies head cross country coach Kirk Pederson. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and let's start off by, you get to start the year at home at Pirtle Springs for the annual Central Missouri Mule Run. Just talk a little bit about how it is to start the season at home with a course that's so familiar like Pirtle.
Pirtle is a great place for us. We're very fortunate to have that. We're fortunate to be able to use it on 1 or 2 days a week. We're out there doing training on very nice grass, and so that's great. We're indebted to the staff out there for letting us have meets and being able to run on a golf course for training and racing. So really enjoy that. Our kids really love to go out there and on early morning in September and run a race out there. Have family come in and friends and all that. It's a great environment.
Absolutely. And let's now go to some highlights of the Mule Run. Brianna Blocker brings us more.
Hi, I'm Brianna Blocker, and I'm here in Warrensburg, Missouri at Pirtle Springs, where the Cross Country Mule Run is taking place. Let's take a look at those highlights. The University of Central Missouri Cross Country teams started its season with the annual Mule Run. The race took place at the Keth Memorial Golf Course at Pirtle Springs. The men completed 4 miles with 113 competitors. Senior Adam Treadway took the Mules to the top, crossing the line as the first collegiate finisher. Treadway finished with a time of 20 minutes, 27.92 seconds, followed by freshman Ian Frazier, 20 minutes, 30.83 seconds, and coming in third, junior Michael Golick, 20 minutes, 40.55 seconds. For our Jennies, the race was 2.5 miles with 141 competitors. Megan Glayman was the top finisher while the team finished third overall. Glayman was a top placer for the second consecutive year, with a time of 14 minutes, 37.64 seconds over the 2.5 mile course, which was about 7 seconds better than her time from the previous year. Following, Allie Rexroth was the only other Jenny to make it to the top 10, coming in 5th place with a time of 14 minutes, 57.16 seconds. UCM finished third with 70 points, tailing only Southwest Baptist and Benedict in the 15-team field. The Mules and Jennies will be back at it September 27th at the Roy Griak Invitational in Minneapolis, Minnesota, hosted by the University of Minnesota. I'm here with Megan Glayman. How you doing, Megan?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. All right, so how long have you been running for UCM?
This will be my 4th year. I'm a senior, so.
All right. So what is the training process for you guys?
Well, it's a very long training process. We have about a month off from when we end outdoor track. So we start running about end of May, beginning of June, and then we start workouts at the end of June and harder workouts, and we train all the way through the summer, and then this is usually our first race, so pretty long training process.
How do you think you've improved from last season?
I feel like the training that I've been doing, it's come easier to me, so I can handle it better, the more strenuous work, and just getting out there with the team. We kind of judge each other off each other in practices, and practicing with the team has been really good this year.
So what are you guys' goals for this season?
For this season, our goals is just conference is always a big goal for us. We always want to do better than last year, and I think we got 4th last year at conference, 4th or 5th, and so this year we just want to place higher. Winning conference is always a goal, you know. Individually, it's probably always all conference top 10, so that's a pretty big goal for us too.
All right. So do you have any ending thoughts about today's race?
It was a good race today. It was a little on the chilly side for me, but it felt good out there, and I felt better than last year. The finish was a lot better, and everyone says that I look stronger, so that was good. And the whole team, we have a lot of new freshmen, and they handled this race very well, and we're going to keep improving throughout the season. So it was a good first race.
Yeah, you did very good today.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I'm Brianna Blocker reporting for Sportspage.
All right, now we are coming back to and now we are joined again by Coach Pederson here. Coach, just give us a rundown of how you assessed your team's performance at the Mule Run.
I was really pleased with the effort. You know, on the men's side, we had 3 seniors in our top 5 last year, and so that was a great team. But losing that leadership and those people make for a challenge. And I really thought we had some freshmen and younger athletes that had not been a part of our top 7 or top 5 that stepped up and realized that they'll need to do that this year. So pleased with that. Adam Treadway is our senior leader that's our top returning runner, and he's doing very well, and so there's a very nice mix there.
Alrighty, and looking ahead now to this coming weekend, you're going up to the University of Minnesota for the Roy Gryak Invitational. Talk about real quickly just the level of competition you guys are going to be facing up there in Minnesota. Well,
this meet is a good regional indicator for us. We'll see a lot of regional teams. Our region, the central region, is schools from the Northern Sun Conference in Minnesota, South Dakota area, and so we'll get a chance to see them and see where we stack up against them versus, you know, the MIAA, where we don't actually see a whole lot of that. So it's a great environment. They have a lot of races up there. It's on a very challenging golf course at the University of Minnesota. And again, we'll see Augustana, one of the top teams in Division II, kind of give us an indicator where we stand in our region.
Who are you looking towards to have breakout years for both your Mules and Jennies teams?
Well, Megan Glayman is our top returner and obviously doing very well. She was all conference last year and is arguably one of the best returning runners in the MIAA. You know, I think she has some goals of qualifying for nationals, and so to do that, she's going to have to get better. We mentioned Adam Treadway, another strong leader and senior that are hoping to have some breakout years. And I think we have a very good mix of, we have a group of freshmen that have come in, I think, well prepared to handle cross country, college cross country. And so that's going to be more of a challenge here this week as we get to longer races. We have an 8K 5-mile race for men and a 6K for women, which is about 3 3/4 miles. A lot of our younger runners haven't run that far in a race, in a cross-country race, so that'll be the next challenge, see how they adapt to that, and looking forward to that challenge.
What would you say is the biggest improvement both of your teams have to make throughout the season to get better?
Well, you know, in our sport, the important part of the season comes at the end. It's a conference championship, a regional championship. What we do till then doesn't matter. We don't have a conference record, so it's preparing our athletes for the races that take place in November. And hopefully we get better every week in training, and that we learn from racing and get smarter and get better.
Absolutely. And alrighty, Coach, thanks for joining us. If you want to catch Coach Pederson's Mule and Jenny team's run this weekend, you can catch the live webcast courtesy of FlowTrack.com. Jennies run at 9:50 a.m. and the Mules run at 11:30. Next on Sportspage, we spotlight the athletic auction. Sportspage will be right back after this. Welcome back to Sportspage. Just before the start of every school year, the UCM Athletic Department puts on its annual auction. Let's take a look at the sights and sounds of this year's festivities.
The multi tonight, we've got the 14th annual Celebrating Central Missouri Athletic Auction and Dinner. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year for the athletic department. A lot of great items. We have a silent auction. We've got a live auction a little bit later on tonight. There's a dinner, a couple open bars, and just a good time with a lot of great supporters of Central Missouri athletics. The athletic auction, you know, it raises money for the athletic department. It raises money for each individual team, but then it also raises money for the general athletic fund, and that money goes towards, you know, scholarships or travel budgets and things like that. It's a necessary thing that, you know, we need this auction to help raise the money so that our teams can get out on the road and, you know, travel to the places that they have to travel to get to their games and matches and things of that nature.
Hall of Famer, Mr. Jerry Hughes.
You know, I mean, all summer long, as I move around town, I have fans and people say, "Well, you're going to have another good auction. What do you have in the auction?" I mean, there's a general excitement about the auction. You know, we always have it at the beginning of school, as the kickoff to the school year, and so it's kind of get back in the swing, supporting the Mules and Jennies teams and support the university.
I think the success of last season, the basketball national championship, kind of feeds into what the start of the new school year is. We have a lot of people in the community, a lot of businesses that really want to support the athletic department and the university as a whole, because they're still feeding off of that excitement of last season's basketball championship. So, you know, one sport's success has helped really feed over into what I think is going to be an outstanding season.
You know, a lot of the people that come to the auction are a lot of, you know, Warrensburg community members, you know, people who come to, you know, a lot of the Mules and Jennies home athletic events. You know, some of the other people that come out are, you know, alums who maybe don't live in Warrensburg anymore and live at different parts of the country. You know, each athletic team is represented by their coaches and some, you know, parents of players and things like that. But then we have alumni, you know, from as far south as Houston and from the coasts and, you know, things like that. And you know, we'll have some state representatives from the area, from the Warrensburg area here tonight, as well as, you know, just great UCM athletic supporters. Michelle Schubert, who is our athletics development officer, plays a very key role in, you know, getting the auction to where it is. Michelle, along with Emily Moses and Jerry Hughes, are kind of the three people who really head things up. But all of the items either come from, you know, past alums from Central Missouri, or we have, you know, parents of student athletes will donate, you know, their vacation homes for a week for people to go to Mexico or to go to Colorado skiing. And then we get a lot of sports memorabilia from, you know, just so many of our coaches have made so many connections throughout the country that they might know somebody who coaches at a different school or who coaches at a Division I school, and they'll get us some signed memorabilia or a football helmet from their school. Or we have alums who've gone on to either work in professional sports or play professional sports, and so they'll get autographed items from their teammates and things like that. So, you know, it really comes in from a lot of different angles. You know, people in the Warrensburg community will donate things. We have a lot of great businesses in the Warrensburg area who will donate gift certificates to their businesses, or, you know, different things like that. So really the donations come in from all over the place, and it's really just kind of a lot of different people who help make this event happen. The athletic auction is just a great event. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of people that, you know, you see on a regular basis, and a lot of people that you don't, who maybe this is the one event per year that they come to at Central Missouri. And so to get them out and just to get everybody together, it's a fun evening. It's a great meal, you know, provided by Sodexo, and everyone just has a really good time. And once that live auction gets rolling, it's just a lot of fun to see the bids flying and different things like that. So it's just a fun event that does a great job of, you know, helping fund all of the athletic teams at Central Missouri.
3,000 now, 31. I agree now, but I want my mama to get $31. I can now, but I get 31. I agree now, but I want my mama to get $31. I can now, but I get $1,200. Maybe you're going to say, I'm going to get $1,000. I ain't even. How about $200, guys? A real order now. How about it for Coach Anderson, guys? Give him a round of applause.
This marks the 14th year of this annual event. The auction featured over 600 items, including a golf trip to the exclusive Floridian Golf and Yacht Club in Palm Beach. Other items included a chance for a child to be a Coca-Cola coin toss captain for the Chiefs-Rams game on October 24th, and a 50-yard line suite for the Rams-Cowboys game in St. Louis. Coming up after the break, Alex Greenlee returns to give us the upcoming events for the Mules and Jennies. You're watching the UCM Sports Page here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS.
Welcome back to Sports Page here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS. Here's a look at the upcoming schedules. Mules football is preparing for a home game against Nebraska Kearney on September 27th at 1:30 p.m. This is also family weekend, so be sure to head out and cheer on the Mules as they take on the Lopers.
Jennies Golf is heading to Hays, Kansas for the Fort Hays State Invitational starting September 29th. Good luck, Jennies.
Jennies Soccer has 2 away games coming up with Emporia State on the 26th and Washburn on the 28th. The Jennies are currently 5-0-1 on the season. The Jennies are undefeated at MIAA play heading into the weekend.
Women's volleyball has 2 on the road coming up as well. The Gens head to Emporia State on the 26th and Washburn on the 27th. The Jennies are currently 7-5 on the season. The Jennies and Central Oklahoma are the only 2 undefeated teams in MIAA play.
And moving along to men's and women's cross country, they're headed to Minneapolis for the Roy Greig Minnesota Invitational on the 27th. Good luck to both teams. And with that, we conclude this edition of the UCM Sports Page. Make sure to tune in next week. Until then, for our entire crew here at KMOS-TV, I'm Alex Greenlee.
And I'm Jason Ketz saying thanks for watching the UCM Sports Page here on KMOS-TV, Missouri PBS.
Support for Sports Page is provided by Union Station, Crossroads to Technology, a one-stop shopping source for technology needs, campus-compatible computers, software for Mac and PCs, and much more. Located on campus on the lower floor of the Elliott Union in Warrensburg. Union Station, Crossroads to Technology. And promotional support for Sports Page is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.